Hello friends, Namaskar. Welcome to Veena's kitchen table. What shall we make today? Let's make something that most of us would order if we go out to eat at an Indian joint. And that is Dal Makhani. The wholesome goodness of dal combined with butter and some spices is a wonderful delicacy from the land of Punjab. So let's not wait. Let's start making our Dal Makhani. Welcome back friends. So let's start making our Dal Makhani. As you can see, these are the ingredients that we need to make Dal Makhani. You might be surprised because you don't see many ingredients, but that's what it is. This magical dal recipe does not need much. Now let's see what all we need. Here I have the dal, that is Urad Dal. Now I'll show you how it looks. Now this is how Urad Dal looks. Okay, this is the Urad Sabut with the skin. It's not split, and along with that I've taken Rajma as well. For my Dal Makhani recipe, I add a little Rajma to the dal. I've taken here 200 grams of Urad Dal, and to it I have added 50 grams of Rajma. That's the proportion. I have washed the dal and the Rajma well and then soaked it for more than 5 hours. So about 3 to 4 hours would be enough. Here I have taken 2 large tomatoes. This is about 400 grams of tomatoes. I have put it in the blender and blended it into a fine paste. I have here about 2 tablespoons of Kashmiri Red chili powder, about 2 tablespoons of ginger garlic paste. I have taken about 50 grams of butter. This of course is Dal Makhani, so you cannot have Dal Makhani without the makhan or the butter. So 50 grams of butter. About 2 tablespoons of fresh cream, that is something that we use while we serve just as a garnish. I've taken here 1 tablespoon of Kasuri Methi and 1 clove of garlic finely chopped. That's all that we need. We do not need onions, we do not need any other dry spices other than Kashmiri Red chili powder and of course Kasuri Methi. That's all that we need, and our yummy Dal Makhani will be ready. So let's start cooking. So our first step will be to cook the dal and the Rajma together. So we've put it in the cooker. I have added enough water about 2 inches above the level of the dal. So because this has the tendency to thicken up, so we need enough water. Later on also we need to simmer the dal, so keep enough water in the cooker. To this I'll add the salt. I'm adding about 2 teaspoons of salt, and we'll check later. And we'll close the cooker and we'll keep the weight. Once the pressure is formed, we'll reduce the flame and leave the dal to cook for about 7 to 8 minutes. While our dal is cooking in the pressure cooker, let's start making our masala for the dal. I've kept a pot on the fire and I need to add butter, but before I add butter, I'll drop in a little oil, probably half teaspoon of oil, otherwise the butter will burn. And now I'm going to add the butter. I have taken most of it, just reserved a little for garnishing. Wait for our butter to melt. The secret behind a good Dal Makhani is the slow cooking process of the dal. Usually it's kept on low flame and allowed to cook gradually, but of course we cannot wait for that much time, so we put it in the cooker. Now once the butter is hot, I'm going to add the ginger garlic paste into the butter. We'll wait for our ginger garlic paste to saute well till the raw smell disappears and it turns into a nice golden color. Now ginger garlic paste has turned into a light golden hue. Before we add our tomato puree, we are going to add the Kashmiri red chili powder to it and give it a nice mix. Reduce the flame, ensure that the red chili powder does not burn. This gives our dal a nice red color. Now this is done and it's time to add our tomato puree. Give it a good mix. Increase the flame to high. Now we have to wait for the tomato to cook well and all the moisture to evaporate and the oil or the fat that we have added to ooze out from the masala. Our tomato paste has come to a boil. You can see that it is simmering well. We'll close the pot and leave it to simmer and keep stirring it occasionally till the fat oozes out. So our dal is still in the cooker and our masala is frying here well. You can see that the oil has separated. We'll keep sauteing it a little more till all the oil oozes out of the masala. And that's a sign that our masala is well done. There will be no raw taste of the tomatoes left. Dal Makhani is a very traditional dish of Punjab. And as I said, the secret behind it is its very slow cooking process. Yeah, that's my cooker telling me that the dal is almost done. So I'll switch off the fire and wait for the cooker to cool down and I'll open the dal and check if it's done. After cooking in the cooker for 7 minutes on low flame, I have opened the cooker and you can see that the dal has cooked very well. You can see it's really soft. And now it will simmer again in the masala. So we will have a very soft and mushy dal. And you can see the Rajma also, it has cooked well. So you see as I press it, it's well done. So you can see that the oil has separated from the gravy, the tomato gravy or the masala. And now it's time to add the dal. Before I add the dal, I will add the Kasuri Methi to this masala. For that, I will take the Kasuri Methi that I have taken into my palm and give it a nice rub. Heats up my palm and the Kasuri Methi leaves. That releases the flavor of the methi and I drop it into the masala. Tomatoes and butter and methi, these are all very rustic ingredients of Punjab. Punjab is known for its milk and butter, and Dal Makhani is such a pleasure. A beautiful combination of dal and butter, cooked slowly on probably firewood or coal in earthen pots. Of course, that would be the authentic way of making it, but ours is not going to be any less. Now we are going to add the dal to the masala. I'm just going to pour in the dal here. Give it a nice mix. And now it's the turn for the dal to cook along with the gravy, with the masala, for a good 20 to 30 minutes on very low fire. That's why we added enough water to the dal, because it needs to simmer and cook and take in all the flavors of the ginger, garlic, the tomatoes and the Kasuri Methi and the red chili powder and of course the butter. We'll just check for the seasoning. Yeah, it's perfect. Remember that if your butter is salted, be careful while you add your salt. Now I'm going to close the pot and leave it to simmer for a good 20 to 25 minutes. So our dal has been simmering for about 20 minutes or so. You can see it has thickened up. The consistency is quite good. This dal makhani is always thick, it's not a runny dal. This would be the consistency, and what we need to do is to mash the dal a little, pressing it against the side of the pot, and that will give a thick and creamy consistency. That's what we want. Now we'll go for the final tempering of the dal that adds to its flavor, and for that, as I had shown you before, I have 1 clove of garlic finely diced, which I will just fry in a little butter and drop it into this pot of dal. I have kept the tempering pot on the fire and I'm adding the little butter that was left. Dal makhani of course takes in a lot of butter. That adds to the taste of the dal. You could add more butter if you like. Now the butter has heated up. I'll add the garlic, turn it to a nice golden color. This gives a wonderful nutty flavor to the dal. So you can see that the garlic has turned into a nice golden brown. I'm going to drop in the butter and the garlic into the dal. Give it a good mix. Close the pot and switch off the fire and leave the pot for about 5 minutes. So here's a wonderful pot of dal makhani for all of you. It's steaming hot. Garnish it with a little cream. As I said, this is a rich dal, but of course we can indulge once in a while. Wonderful creamy dal and a dollop of butter on top, and that's dal makhani for you. Make it for your family and enjoy. If you like my videos, do subscribe to my channel and share with me your valued opinions and comments. Till we meet again, bye bye.